The purpose of today is to demonstrate a customer and profitability diagnostic. It's important to understand which customers, which products, which services generate profits. And this tool can be used with retailers, manufacturers, professionals such as legal and accounting firms, and service companies such as transport companies. Now, what you need to do is identify high profit customers, those who generate a high net profit for a business. So going through and workshopping through with a business, you can identify who the customers are, and it might be Mr. Green and various other customers. This takes some time to do. It can take an hour or so for a business, but it's a very important process. Then you need to generate an understanding of the average profit customers. So you might have Mr. Black, he might be an average profit customer, and so on. And then you need to understand those customers which actually only generate a low profit for the company, because various customers and products consume different amounts of resources, and you might, when you really analyse it, and you have to make a mental allocation of the consumption of all resources from the managing director downwards, activity-based costing is one term that's used for this process, you need to understand them. So you've got your low profit customers. Then of course you must identify your loss incurring customers. Those customers, when you really understand all the resources and energy and consumption of time that goes into providing the service or the product to them, you actually incur a loss on. And Mr. Redmond might be the man who could be the first one there, and you need to identify the other customers. Because some customers, when you really think about it, they are slow to pay, they query paperwork. If they're in the transport business, they might delay you at pickup. At the drop-off end, they might delay you at drop-off, and you might have time delays and waste time when you take into account all those resources. They might query proof of delivery, and the end result is you lose money on them. So in this example, $5 million of revenue comes from high profit customers, $3 million from average profit, $1 million from low, and $1 million from loss. Now another way of looking at that, of course, is on a percentage basis. 50% high profit from your sales, 30% from average profit, 10% from low, and 10% from loss. So that of course totals 100%, and Pareto's law applies here. 20% of your customers produce either a low profit or a loss. And another way of looking at the net profit earned on the business is, and this is a reflection of a depiction of net profit before tax, the money you make, the profit you generate from low profit customers might actually be cancelled out and consumed by the loss incurring customers. So the end result might be for 20% of your sales you actually incur no profit. Now you're in business to make money and have fun, so it's fundamental and vital to the success of any business that you do a profitability diagnostic on customers and or products twice a year, because they change. And then when you've identified it, you need to have a process as part of your business plan to increase your low profit customers to average profit and loss customers to either at least become low profit, or if they're lost and you can't make them profitable, you stop working. When you identify these, you've got to go to the customers, and if it's in a transport business, you've got to look at how you can change the processes, the services, or in any business, so that they actually become low profit. And the end result might be that if you cannot make them profitable, you then have to put the prices up. And if that does not work, if you can't get a price increase, you should stop doing the work. You should either stop providing the service or the product, stop working. There is no point incurring substantial losses. The only time to have a lost customer is in a situation where someone perhaps incurs losses, but they are a very good referrer of business to you, so they're actually a marketing expense. So this is an example of part of the whole mind shop process of how, as part of your strategic business plan, you should have a very clear understanding of which customers, products and services generate profits, and you need to have specific actions to increase profitability by moving low profit customers up to average, lost customers up to low, or stop doing the work for lost customers. So what we've looked at is an example of a profitability diagnostic, which is one of the suite of mind shop problem-solving tools that you can use to increase profitability, and it's self-funding. This process helps find the money to be able to go forward and strengthen your business and make it more prosperous and get happier and staff and enjoy business.